Yeah. Let me just get a snack first.
Snack? I brought a snack.
Oh, that's okay. I'm good.
Oh, no. I got this. Told you I brought a snack.
There's a better way to eat pickles on the go. Sucker Punch, the snack with a snap.
Hello everyone and welcome back to the Racing Prodigy YouTube channel. This weekend is very special as we hand out the final Prodigy passes on our way to Prodigy Week Part 2, all in our aid and goaling of bringing sim racers and giving them the opportunities to make it in the real world. Glad you can join us here for one of two selection shows today, focusing on both race room and street car racing. Over the last couple of months, we've been giving drivers the opportunity in the Prodigy Racing League, Race Room, Mazda MX-5 Cup, Golden Ticket Series, powered by Sucker Punch, to fight for 4 Prodigy passes on track. Congratulations to Nikodem Wisniewski, to Kamil Pawlowski, Leandro Werler, and to Michael Romanidis, the 4 drivers who all won their Prodigy passes out on track. We took the top 25% of them and asked them to submit a 60-second video resume to our search selection committee, making their case for why they should join us at Prodigy Week Part 2. After that, we whittled it down to 10 finalists here today, and we'll dive down into 2 Prodigy Pass winners in just a couple of moments' time. This is a look at some of the crazy racing that we had. 3 individual event finals, 3 Prodigy Passes handed out through that, and 1 overall series champion as well. Some great racing, respectful racing, as you've come to know from the Mazda MX-5s. What is Prodigy Week all about, though? It's about giving sim racers the chance to make it in the real-world motorsports calendar. Let's learn a little bit more about Prodigy Week Part 2.
You look at the number of participants who had a shot at this, who wanted to be one of 12 of 60-something thousand. I mean, that's impressive in and of itself. What a diverse group of drivers, what a diverse group of participants. Just really cool. They should all be very, very proud.
Players around 4 platforms. I mean, I'm lucky to be here.
We about to change the game. We out here taking names. Let our voices rise. Let them reach the skies. We about to change the game. We out here taking names. Let our voices rise. Let them reach the skies. Hickory, dog, giving them to determine. Right in the storm and focus on rainbow connections like Kermit. The water on my shoulders, it was a bird.
Well, and to make the hard decisions about who earns these Prodigy passes, we need to bring in some judges who have a bit of experience in this world. We tie together the real world and the sim world, and as we did last Thursday when we handed out 4 Prodigy passes on our iRacing selection show, today we have some all-star judges once again. Welcome to Boris and to Cameron Das to today's selection show, both of whom were involved in Prodigy Week Part 1. Boris was there as a coach, Cam was there producing some great content and also giving the drivers some great advice as well. And they bring such interesting perspectives. Boris has raced across the top level of motorsports, was a BMW-factory driver, has competed in NASCAR, and of course, has also raced in the 24 hours of the Nürburgring. Cam went from racing on Forza to being the inaugural United States Formula 4 champion back in 2016. And in the years since then, has become an advocate for motorsport in the digital world. Guys, I'm so glad that you can join us, and especially leaning on the experience of Prodigy Week Part 1. Boris, I've got to ask you, what did you look at in these drivers when you saw their 60-second video clip?
Well, it was tough, because you really want to pick them all. They were all great candidates. But, one of my favorite shows in America is America's Got Talent. And when Simon Cowell is always talking to the people, the contestants, they always say, you need to be memorable, something that you really remember somebody by. So that's really kind of what it was for me. One of the candidates stuck out in my mind is just somebody I'll remember. And he was exciting. So I think that's the one thing I looked at.
For me, just to echo off of what Boris said, I mean, there's a bit of that it factor, something that's memorable in the back of your mind. You don't really know what it is, but that ends up becoming quite a big factor in the decision. Of course, all these drivers in the finalists were already fast, so that wasn't really too much of a concern. But yeah, I mean, it's that it factor. It's being personable. It's being a well-rounded driver. That's what I'm looking for. Sure. I mean, we have a pretty quick selection of drivers in this selection show, right? Like almost all of you guys were fighting up near the top throughout the different rounds. A couple of you guys have been competing in other competitions as well, from what it looks like. So I'm really excited to be able to announce these finalists, and best of luck to you all.
And thank you guys for sharing your insights into what you look for candidates. One thing I just wanted to mention as well, Cameron was with us for a selection show back in season 1, part 1 with Bobby Labonte. We selected Julian Klaffenbach, who was unable to make it to Prodigy Week part 1. He is going to be able to compete in Prodigy Week part 2. We couldn't let his circumstances deprive him of the chance, and we can't wait to see what he's got. For now, though, let's start to work our way through the finalists one by one and talk to you about exactly who we've got in front of you. Let's start with Martin Barner, one of the few drivers that was in all 3 of our finals. He finished no lower than 12th position, but no higher, unfortunately, than 4th. Has been sim racing for 5 years, brings plenty of experience as well in go-karting Formula student, and knows what that experience will do to becoming a better and faster race car driver. From Martin Barner to Oliver Burnt, who was 20th in the 3rd round that we had at the very end of the season. He says he's 47 years young. He's not too old for this. And even though he's only been sim racing for 5 years, maybe competitively, brings plenty of experience from karting as well. From Oliver Burnt to Frieder Braun, another one of our Germans, 18th back in round number 1, 19 years of age, only sim racing for about 12 years or so, and in the last couple of months has started doing some rental karting as well, testing the limits of himself as he gets more and more confident. A driver that's been a part of many of our selection shows and a staple of the Prodigy Racing League, Kamto Chukwueze, has another chance here today, 16th back in round number 2, and he's only actually missed 1 Prodigy Racing League event. He knows exactly what this opportunity means to give sim racers their chance to make it in the real world, and the 17-year-old from Ireland is here once again. Sven de Vries, the American from Michigan, 7th in the final round, and was really pushing even in round 2 when he did make it to the final as well. He's 33 years old, has an SCCA competition license and 2 national championships as well in the Formula 500. Turkka Hakkinen, the Need Racing driver, was a flying Finn on many an occasion, and in some ways just missed out in round number 2 when he was able to sit on the podium. His teammate Philip Dries might have taken a lot of the center stage across to the finals, but his confidence and maturity was undeniable despite just having 30 minutes of experience in rental karts last summer. Leonard Heidegger, 2 consecutive almost top 10 finishes for the Swiss driver with 3 years or so of sim racing experience. He does have plenty of experience though in real cars. Did a prototype race at Mugello last year where he finished 1st in the junior category. Nathan Maxman, out of the United Kingdom, finished 13th in round number 3. Not unlucky 13th for him, though, as he makes it to this search selection show. 26 years of age, 5 years plus of sim racing experience, and has done plenty of karting with lap records across of the southeast of England. Angelo Michel is our penultimate finalist here. Finished 6th in round number 1, and another one of our drivers that was a staple in all 3 of the finals. 23 years of age, has no real experience in racing, but he has, of course, gone out to the Nordschleife and driven around the Grand Prix circuit at the Nürburgring. One final driver, and a driver with plenty of enthusiasm as well. Mihai Nej from Romania, just 24 years of age, and someone that has got plenty of experience across of top-level sim racing as well. Finds himself always taking notes and diving in as an engineer into sim racing, and brings that, of course, to the forefront. Those, though, are our 10 finalists. We are at this point going to start to whittle them down. I'm excited to be able to say we'll have 4 finalists that we'll now announce. 2 of them will win Prodigy passes. 2 of them will be runners-up and reserve drivers in case a winner cannot attend Prodigy Week a month from today. Without further ado, though, let's start working our way through the first 4 finalists. Let's learn about our first finalist with his 1-minute submission video.
Hi all, I'm Turkka Häkkinen. I'm 22 years old from Helsinki, Finland. I started sim racing in 2018 from a passion of motorsports, and I set out with the goal of one day racing in real life. I've achieved a lot in my sim racing career. I've sim raced professionally and traveled internationally to compete in sim racing events. I've also had the opportunity to work together with real life racing drivers to help them get accustomed to and up to speed in sim racing. From those experiences, I've felt like maybe one day I too could race real racing cars. I'm always fighting for the top spots, and I'm willing to give it everything it takes to succeed both in the virtual and real racing worlds. I'm fast and consistent, but have never had the opportunity to prove my skills in real race cars. I started working hard off track as well to make sure I'm fit enough if I get the chance to sit behind the wheel of a real racing car. Thanks for listening to my application, and I hope to see you all on track soon.
And there's a look at Turkka. Got a smile on his face as well. Great to see a Finn with some emotion. Cam, talk to me a little bit about what you saw from Turkka, who, like I mentioned, in some ways I thought was sometimes overshadowed by Philip Dries.
Well, you know, Turkka's got a sim racing CV that is about the size of an encyclopedia. Like, clearly one of the quickest drivers out of these finalists in terms of, their sim racing history. He's professional. He's definitely determined. What's there not to like about Turkka?
And of course, one of 4 finalists. He looks pretty calm, pretty confident. We'll see how it goes. Let's learn, though, about our second finalist with his 1-minute submission video.
Hi all, I'm Nathan. First of all, thank you so much for the incredible opportunity. I've really enjoyed racing in the tournament, even though I'm still fairly new to RaceRoom, so I was still finding my pace, but I've always found I can jump into any sim with minimal experience and still be competitive, and it's the same when I get in a kart. Racing's always been a passion and a hobby of mine, so I went on a self-guided course of using sim racing as a tool to improve my concentration, my consistency and my general skill, and what I've learned has turned me into a formidable kart racer. I am part of a 24-hour kart racing winning team. I'm part of Jimmy Broadbent's Team 87 Sim to Real program, where we raced in Club 100 karts, and I showed fantastic pace, even at tracks I had never been to before. I always seek the opportunity to learn and to improve. I always remain composed no matter what the situation is, but most importantly, I always aim to have fun. Thank you for considering me.
And there's the look at Nathan Maximin. Boris, in your opinion, what did you see from that submission video that really stood out to you in the America's Got Talent vein?
I think what the biggest thing he brought was a lot of charisma, a lot of energy. And one of the most important things, I've been racing for 30 years, always fun. And he was the only one out of all the people that mentioned fun. He's going to have fun. And I really like that about him. He brought a lot of energy and passion, and I think that'll let him go a long way.
And that's important because I think, as much as this is serious, drivers are trying to, make it and get a real-world professional racing contract in the Prodigy Racing League. Prodigy Week, you need to take the time and enjoy yourself as well. So fun, hopefully, that Nathan Maximin will be having. Let's learn, though, about finalist number 3 with their 1-minute submission video.
Driving race cars has always been my childhood dream for as long as I can remember. However, as many people experience in life, childhood dreams often feel very unattainable. Thankfully, sim racing has offered me the opportunity to get as close to the real deal as possible. Several years ago, I had the opportunity to jump into a Formula 500 and have enjoyed several highlights, such as winning the SCCA National Championship in 2021 and 2022. There is no greater feeling than crossing that finish line in first after a hard-fought battle, whether it's virtual or reality. It makes all the blood, sweat, and tears worth it. While having worked hard to showcase my skills on an amateur level has been satisfying, I would love to show my potential at a more professional level. I am absolutely determined to realize the dreams my 12-year-old self had when standing behind the fence and dreaming of being in a race car. Racing Prodigy and its partners offer the perfect opportunity to fulfill this dream, and I hope to join you all at Prodigy Week Part 2 in May.
And a big smile again on Sven de Vries's face. Cam, I feel like in a lot of ways, there's a lot of his story that resonates with your story.
For sure, for sure. And, you know, the great thing about Sven is, you know, you went the extra mile and you really tried to make this career work for yourself. You've proven success in amateur racing. And you've already proven you can convert that talent from sim racing to the real world. So that's already a big advantage for you if you do get selected to go to Prodigy Week. But yeah, all the best.
And again, that experience will be important on those first couple of days, getting to grips with the Radical SR1. One more finalist, though. Let's check out our final 60-second submission video.
Yo, representing Dracula's country, I'm Mihai Neg, automotive engineer by day, sim racer by night. So far in my life, I'm only 24 years young. I have traveled across the European continent, competing in many high-level esports LAN competitions, gathering many kilometers and experience under my belt, some of them on racetracks as well. And I'm wondering, does the kilometer really feel the same in the States? With my vast experience in high-level esports competitions such as ADAC GT Masters, DTM and WTCR, I feel like this is an amazing opportunity to showcase my potential in a real environment. An asset that would help me in the real world, apart from my character, is the general understanding of car dynamics and principles that I have from, my day job. Being an engineer and a motorsport enthusiast, I would love to see the correlation between the data and a real racetrack feel, with some tips from the legend himself, Randy Post. Sadly, a minute has only 60 seconds. Talk to you in Atlanta. Bye!
There's plenty of confidence in his video. Oh, and there's the smile, the reaction, and a wave for us as well. Boris, what did you see in that video that really stood out to you?
A finalist. He's an accomplished, very fast sim racer. But the two things that stood out for me is he has a ton of personality and also his engineering background. I think the engineering background is very unique, and I think that could pay big dividends in a real race car to move his career forward, understanding how the car works more than most people.
Yeah, I remember, even some of the conversation during Prodigy Week Part 1, we were talking about chattering on the brake, something that Cam had mentioned, seeing in the data, something that maybe will be important. That's our 4 finalists, though, now all announced. And again, just a reminder, 2 of these drivers will be reserves just in case anything does happen, and will be there at Prodigy Week Part 2. 2 Prodigy passes to hand out. Let's take a look at the 4 drivers, though, who are now finalists and just waiting to find out if they're going to win the Prodigy Pass. There's a look. Nathan Maximan, Turkka Häkkinen, Mihai Neg, and Sven de Vries. Don't really want to keep them waiting too much longer because this is a moment they've all been waiting for. So without further ado, the winner of the first Prodigy Pass here in our search selection show out of the Prodigy Racing League RaceRoom Mazda MX-5 Cup Golden Ticket Series powered by Sucker Punch, heading to the Atlanta Motorsports Park on May the 13th. It's Nathan Maximan. Nathan, you're the winner of the Prodigy Pass. Tell us what this means to you. How do you feel you're going to drive a Radical SR1? Don't forget to unmute yourself, by the way. You're still muted on Discord, unfortunately, Nathan, so we can't hear you right now. But we could see how excited you are. And we'll hope that we can hear your words in a few moments' time. He's working on it. He's got the hand up as well. Boris, while we wait for him to figure this out, tell me, what did you see in Nathan specifically that made you want to pick him?
The biggest thing was he mentioned how much fun he has racing. And I think, after racing for 38 years, it's a hard job. But if you're having fun at it, it's never hard. It's never a job.
I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry about that, guys.
That's the biggest thing that's going to take you far. if he keeps that passion and that love of the sport.
Well, Nathan, you've got it figured out now. Congratulations. Boris was just talking about why he picked you, but tell us how this feels. You're heading to the Atlanta Motorsports Park to drive a Radical SR1 with a shot and a real racing contract.
It's amazing. I mean, this is probably every sim racer's dream. Wow, I don't really know what to say. I'm so grateful. It's going to be a really fun, exciting opportunity. I can't wait to get there and start.
Boris, what do you feel like you need to ask Nathan as you get ready to see how he'll perform at Prodigy Week Part 2?
I think the best advice I could give him is, and I give this to everybody, racing's a game of mistakes. If you're not learning faster than the competition, you're going to get beat. So always be humble and always just keep learning, kind of get better. Just it's a working process always, corner by corner, lap by lap. And if you keep working on that, you're going to get faster.
That's true. It's true. It's something that, like I mentioned in my video, it was a self-guided course really to get faster at sim racing and use that to help myself get faster at karting as well. So, going through that process that I did myself, I'm sure if I take that to the Radicals, then I'll end up being a really fast driver.
What are you most looking forward to at Prodigy Week? You'll have pro racing coaches. You'll be tested, on physical fitness. There's going to be media training, data analysis, jumping onto a skid pad, karting, autocross, and that's all before you jump into the Radical SR1. I mean, what really do you think you're going to be most excited about?
Oh goodness, the whole thing is just going to be really exciting. I reckon I'm most excited for the Radicals. That's like the grand finale. Everything leading up to that, and it's going to be a huge learning curve and a great experience. But yeah, I'll probably say I'm most looking forward to the Radicals.
Well, congratulations, Nathan. We'll see you at the Atlanta Motorsports Park on May the 13th.
Thank you. I'd just like to say thank you to Sucker Punch, Mazda, and Racing Prodigy as well. Thank you so much, guys.
Winner of Prodigy Pass #1 here today, with 4 Prodigy Passes to be handed out in total, 2 of course here on RaceRoom. It leaves these 3 faces, Turkka Häkkinen, Sven de Vries and Mihai Nej, just waiting to find out who will join Nathan Maximin at the Atlanta Motorsports Park. Fingers tapping away there for Mihai Nej. Let's not keep them waiting any longer. The winner of the 2nd Prodigy Pass here today and going to Prodigy Week Part 2 is Mihai Nej.
Oh my God.
Mihai, congratulations. How do you feel right now? You're going to drive a Radical SR1 at the Atlanta Motorsports Park.
Guys, thank you so much. This is amazing. It's like a dream coming true for me. Yeah. After all those years of sim racing and grinding and dreaming, I get an amazing opportunity like this. It's something truly amazing. I would like to thank everyone that made this possible, from Racing Prodigy, from Sucker Punch and Mazda, for you guys to believing in me and picking in me. This is something else.
I love the smile. Cam, I mean, I'm sure you can appreciate and recognize the emotions that Mihai is feeling. What question do you think you need to ask him right now?
Well, first of all, congratulations. I think it's very well deserved. You clearly worked hard for this. But my question is, once you've had a chance to soak this in and celebrate this, Racing Prodigy or Prodigy Week 2 is really only a month around the corner. So is there anything you're going to do between now and then to properly prepare yourself?
I think I will up my gym schedule to train even more, to prepare myself physically, and also to test out the Radical on the simulators that have both the Radical and the car, to get myself familiarized with the track, with the car, braking points and so on, to get like a more analytical approach. But my voice is shaky right now. I can't think about anything else.
I want to ask you, Mihai, how does your engineering approach, how are you going to take that into driving the real car? How do you think that's going to benefit you once you get to the Atlanta Motorsports Park?
I think trying to build it up from the ground up, like having a baseline of what there should be possible, and then you introduce the feeling part of the grip that you have available and so on, and I don't know, bring as much of an analytics part as I can and prepare as much as I can.
Congratulations, Mihai. I love to see what this means to you, and I can't wait to see how you do at the Atlanta Motorsports Park.
Thank you, guys. This is amazing opportunity. Thank you so much.
Mihai Nej, winner of the second Prodigy Pass here today. And Boris, Cam, thank you so much for joining us here for the second selection show. I mean, you can see what this means to these sim racers.
Thank you. Good luck,
to get
guys.
these opportunities. Boris, I mean, you were there at Prodigy Week Part 1. You saw the sim racers really take to the track. We only had 2 incidents across of all 3 days. How much are you looking forward to seeing how these drivers perform now with some experience of seeing what Prodigy Week is all about? I guess I'll ask that question to you as well, Cam. What are you looking forward to seeing from the drivers now that they've got some experience?
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing if they up their game potentially from Project Week 1. Like, you know, the drivers in Project Week 1 were just kind of going with the flow, figuring, I mean, this is the first time anyone had been through this. So now that there's like a bit of a reference, I wonder if there's any new strategies that come into play, if drivers maybe take their preparations more seriously before getting to Atlanta. But yeah, I mean, it's so cool to see how these gamers are able to translate their skills pretty much on lap 1 in the real car. So I just can't wait to see how much they develop over the course of the 3 days.
And Cam, quickly as well, because you got to try the Atlanta Motorsports Park. How much of a roller coaster is that track?
Oh, it's incredible. I mean, yeah, it's one of the best. I mean, I love elevation. I think every race car driver will agree with me there. But between the track and the Radical SR1, I mean, it's incredible. I mean, the G-forces are immense. The sound of the SR1 is incredible. There's a couple of quite tricky sections as well. Turn 1 is a little bit bumpy under the brakes, and you've got a bunch of sequences of corners. So not an easy track for the drivers to just hop in and perform. But Prodigy Week 1, the sim racers perform, so I expect nothing less of Prodigy Week 2.
High expectations, I think that's for sure. And always great to see the emotion, just what it means for these drivers to get these opportunities. And that's what Racing Prodigy is all about. So make sure you're subscribed to us here on YouTube. You're following us not just for the action to come on May the 13th when Prodigy Week Part 2 kicks off, but later on in about half an hour's time when we hand out the final of our Prodigy passes at our Street Kart Racing Selection Show. We'll have some great judges as well helping us there. So make sure you're here for all of that. Don't forget, so many people make all of this possible. Sucker Punch, MPI, Mazda, SimLab, Grid Engineering, Assetec Sim Sport, Advanced Sim Racing, and of course, the team at RaceRoom. We couldn't do it without their support, and thank you for their help on this Golden Ticket series. We're not far away from Prodigy Week Part 2. More drivers have now got their sights set on the Atlanta Motorsports Park and now make their way with a real racing contract on the line. Thanks for joining us. 2 more Prodigy passes to go. We'll see you in 30 minutes. For now, so long and goodbye.
You look at the number of participants who had a shot at this, who wanted to be one of 12 of 60-something thousand. I mean, that's impressive in and of itself. What a diverse group of drivers, what a diverse group of participants. Just really cool. They should all be very, very proud.
Players around 4 platforms. I mean, I'm lucky to be here.
We about to change the game. We out here taking names. Let our voices rise. Let them reach Hickory dock, giving them to determine. Right in the storm, a focus on rainbow connections like Kermit. The water on my shoulders, it was a burden.